When we consider all the water that drains into a watershed, we have to find all the high points because we know that water drains downhill to the lowest elevation to make a river or stream, and then that river or stream flows downhill as well to find the next lowest elevation. But we need to consider something that many of us don't find very pleasant, and that is what happens when contamination enters the watershed. Where does it go? Who does it affect? And how do we test for it? Well, let's take a look at your landscape page for more information and a little bit of a demonstration. So here's your landscape page, and this is something that we've been working with for the past several days. I've shaded in 2 watersheds. The green one is the first watershed and the pink one is watershed number 2. Now, the letters you see on your landscape, those are cities. And let's consider for a moment that there's a contamination spill. Let's say there's a farm and some of the fertilizers and pesticides get washed away by a lot of rain and a flood. This happens at City A. Which city, B or C, should be concerned that the contamination will reach them and then taint their water supply? One of the first things we have to consider is, because we now have floodwaters, the water flow rate, or how fast the water is going past a given point every second, has definitely increased. That means that what might have been slow-moving water, now because of floodwaters, is going to be moving ever faster until the amount of runoff finally starts to slow and the water returns to a slower rate. But that's just going to mean that the contamination as well as the floodwater is going to be headed downstream very quickly. If you lived downstream from this contamination, what are some things that you would need to do in order to ensure that your water is safe to drink? You're probably going to want a hydrologist or someone who works in water quality to take a sample of your local drinking water supply. And how do they do that? Well, they use water quality control, and water quality is a measure to determine whether or not a body of water is suitable to support a healthy ecosystem. If your water source is contaminated, it's not suitable to support a healthy ecosystem, and you should neither live in it if you are an aquatic animal, or you shouldn't drink it if you're a people person. So let's go back to our initial question. If there was a contamination leak in City A, which city, B or C, should be concerned that their water supply is also going to be contaminated? Well, you need to know about watersheds and how they work to know which city should be concerned. But I will tell you this: watersheds do not cross over. Good luck.